In this video, I want to take an example of a block diagram and show you how to reduce it. So this is the block diagram that I want to reduce, and as you can see, it's a fairly complicated block diagram, but I think reducing this is not very difficult as long as you follow a set process. Okay, as I said before, whenever you want to reduce a block diagram, we start from the left hand side. So the signal at this point is RS, right? And what's the signal at this point? That is determined by what is the signal at this point, and the signal at this point is YS. So the signal at this point is going to be H3Y. I'm just going to not write um, the S terms just because it makes it so much more easier to write it down. So the value at this point then is going to be R minus H3Y. So this signal here becomes G1 R minus H3Y. Okay, so the what is so if this is, if you know the signal, now I want to calculate the signal at this point. For that I need to know the signal at this point, which I don't know. So what's the signal at this point? I don't know. So what's the signal here? Well, we don't know, but what we know is whatever signal is here times G4 is Y, right? So here the signal can be written as Y over G4. So this is H2Y over G4, which means the signal at this point here is G1 times R minus H3Y minus H2Y over G4. Okay, now the signal here will be then, okay, let me write it here. It's G2 times this entire expression. So G2 times G1 R minus H3Y minus H2Y over G4. Okay, so, and to find the signal at this point, I need to know the signal at this point, which is going to be H1Y. So the signal at this point is going to be what? Well, let me just write it as A and write A here, just so that it can be more clearer. So A is going to be G2 G1 R minus H3Y minus H2Y over G4. So this is the signal here. So that's the signal there. And so plus H1Y, right? That's the signal at point A. So the signal after G3, which is Y over G4 as well, is, so we can write Y over G4 equal to the signal at A times G3, right? So you have G3, G2, G1 R minus H3Y minus H2Y over G4 plus G3 H1Y. So now now that we've got this expression, what we basically need to do is reduce this expression by bringing all the terms associated with y on one side and all the terms associated with r on the other side. So let's try doing that. So I think the easiest way to do this would be to multiply this entire expression with G4 so that you get y equal to G3, G2, G2, G1, and even G4 R minus H3Y minus h2y g3 g2 plus g4 g3 h1y. Now you can bring the terms which are related to y on the other side. So this y term is here, here, and here, right? So what you get is 1 plus g4 g3 g2 g1 h3, and then this term plus h2 g3 g2, and then this term which is going to be minus g4 g3 h1, and this times y equal to g4 g3 g2 g1 r. And from here it's fairly straightforward to get y over r, right? Y over r is going to be this term divided by this term which is in the brackets. So that's how I think you would reduce a block diagram.